Today, we are going to talk about chakras. Definitely, most of us have heard about chakras, that in our body, there are so and so many chakras are there, which are the source of energy for us. Yes, that is true, that our body has some number of chakras, which consists of quite interesting type of energy. If somebody is able to open it up, open all of these, then an incredible power would generate inside that person. But when Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj was practicing at his time, he found something differently and very interestingly. A practice of Vihangam meditation, a practitioner doesn't try to penetrate these chakras. But Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj said that for a Vihangam yogi, these chakras can be opened automatically at one time itself. And there is a method for that through meditation. We will talk more about what Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj mentioned, how and why, and what is the method to open up all of these chakras at the same time. But before that, let me explain what are these chakras. Most of the places when you go to Google and type chakras, number of chakras, etc., it will give you 7. The number of chakras, 7. But Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned there are 8 chakras. These chakras are basically connected with our spinal cord, the spine, and with our prana shakti. There are 5 vital air forces, the pranas, and 5 upapranas, and the spinal cord. These 8 chakras are connected to these pranas and the spinal cord. Because of this connection, actually the movement in the body has become firm and we are stabilized and we can do things whatever we want to do in a much more balanced way. You can see in the slide where are these positions for all these 8 chakras. There are names in Sanskrit as well as in English. The names are fine. You can read it out from the slide. But the important thing is to know what actually they do individually. Like, there is one which is at the throat. We call it Vishuddha Chakra, which is at the throat. What it does, it has a specific function. Similarly, there is one which is at the navel, which is called Manipurak. It has a specific function. If we know the position of the 5 prana shakti, the pranas, and the 5 upapranas, and if we know the locations of those, then we will come to know, oh, these chakras, most of these chakras are connected with those pranas, like the Manipurak, which is at the spine, just opposite or perpendicular to the navel. If you start penetrating through navel and go towards the spinal cord, wherever your line meets, at that place, the Manipurak chakra is there. And there is one prana shakti, there is one prana which is around this navel also. These two are connected with each other through a specific joint, through a specific power. And that's how these two channelize together. Similarly, all these chakras are one way or another connected to the pranas. The important thing is to know when a Hatha Yogi tries to penetrate each one of these chakras one by one, it takes a lot of effort. A single chakra, there is a specific place, like the first one, which is Muladhara, which is at the one end of the spine, which is near our sexual organ as well as the anus. In between these two, that place is. Somebody has to penetrate that particular chakra. That means open it up, activate it. There is a process for that. A Hatha Yogi does a lot of effort to open up this particular chakra, which is the basic most one. And some of the Hath Yogis may take 10 years to activate this single chakra. So if there are 7 or 8 chakras, and one chakra takes roughly around 5 to 10 years to be activated, you can think of how many days will it take to activate all the chakras. The other end of this spine, where the last chakra is, which is Sahasrara, the crown chakra, is the place where the Kundalini is there. And that is the place where the 10th door is there. We had discussed about the 9 doors, 10th door, and 11th door in our previous session. If you want to know more about that, you can go to the YouTube channel and you can find it out there. So this 8th chakra, the Sahasrara, is the place where the Kundalini is there. And if we are able to open this Kundalini, if we are able to awaken this Kundalini, that means we are able to activate this Sahasrara, this crown chakra. So these two are connected with each other. Most of the Hatha Yogis, they believe that if this crown chakra is opened, that means you have reached to the salvation. You have reached to the level of liberation. But this is not true. We have discussed this again previously, that opening the 10th door doesn't mean that we have reached to the level of salvation. No, it is not. Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned that opening the Kundalini, opening the 10th door, is just a shifting of the base from the body mind to the soul. Because once the 10th door is opened, this Sahasrara, this crown chakra is opened, then we realize ourselves. We realize who we are, what we are. Basically, we come to know, we meet the soul itself. The soul meets the soul itself. But that is not the end of spirituality. That is not called salvation. Salvation, liberation is that when the soul meets the Supreme Soul. But right now, when this crown chakra is opened, it is just a shift of the base. In fact, from there onward, if this the 8th chakra is opened, thereafter, further, a lot of effort has to be made to by that particular person to go further beyond that to reach to the Supreme Being, which is nothing but there is one more door or window, the 11th door. So this means if a Hatha Yogi activates all these, even if all these 8 chakras, that doesn't mean that his whole task is completed. And think about the time. Think about the effort a Hatha Yogi does so long, strenuously. The practice, the Hatha Yogi, to penetrate, to activate these chakras, that people like us, we cannot because we don't have time. And how much time does it take? Every day. It's incredible time being taken to do all these things. But Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj mentioned something differently. And what he said, that for a Vihangam Yogi, activating these chakras one by one is not necessary. And even you don't activate these chakras, your 10th door can be opened. And after that, all these chakras will be activated automatically at one go, in one go. What he said, that there is another way. What he said, that through Vihangam meditation, one can directly open this 10th door in the 3rd stage of Vihangam meditation. And what happens is, it simply hits that crown chakra, the Kundalini, to awaken it. And once that one is pulled up by an invisible power, invisible force, that force of the Brahma, it will pull us, it will pull our consciousness, then that chakra will automatically, or that crown or this Kundalini will be opened automatically with that effort of the practitioner at the third stage of Vihangam meditation. And what happens is, since all these chakras are connected with the spine, and the mechanism is in such a way that if the top one is opened or activated, and that's the most important one, then automatically all other 7 will it will open all together. That's how the mechanism is, but it has to be opened from the top. If you start opening it up or activating it from down to top, definitely you have to do it one by one. But if somebody is pulling the Kundalini itself from top, then rest all will get activated automatically. And that's what the interesting thing, what Sadhguru Srafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned, even in Swarved and on the basis of his own experience, that a Vihangam Yogi practitioner has never to try to penetrate or activate either of these chakras. It happens to the practitioner automatically and in one go with the blessings of the Master Sadhguru himself. But that doesn't mean that we don't have to do yogasana, we don't have to know what are these chakras, we don't need to know how the prana shakti functions. We definitely need to know, because these are the basis for our health also. To keep our body as activated as possible, we definitely need to keep all these chakras as active as possible to whatever extent possible. So we must go for the asanas and other practices. We must, because that will keep our body fit and fine. And unless and until our body is stabilized, fit and fine, we even cannot do meditation. Hence, everything is important. But the point is, don't just think or don't just restrict yourself that if the 8th chakra is opened, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that means I have reached to the level of salvation. No, it is not. A Vihangam Yogi practices differently to channelize these 8 chakras, to activate them in one go itself, with the help of the Master himself. Thank you very much for listening today.